On this channel, we provide useful programming information with practical code examples. This time, we'll cover Service Worker in JavaScript. We will explain step by step from the basics of Service Worker to practical cache control. Enabling subtitles will make the code descriptions easier to understand. Service Worker is a JavaScript feature that stands between the browser and the network, enabling request caching and offline support. It is a core technology of PWAs, progressive web apps, and brings a native app-like experience to web applications. Service Worker is a JavaScript file that runs in the background thread of the browser. It runs on a separate thread from the page, cannot access the UI, but can intercept network requests, manage caching, and handle push notifications. The key features of a Service Worker include the following. It only works over HTTPS, except on localhost. It uses a promise-based asynchronous API. It is event-driven, using events like install, activate, fetch, and push. First, let's write the code to register a Service Worker in the browser. Use Navigator. Service Worker. Register to register /sw.js, the Service Worker file. You can use then for success handling and catch for error handling during registration. Registration. Scope represents the path range, scope affected by the Service Worker. By default, the scope is the directory where the registered file, in this case, /sw.js, is located and its subdirectories. If you want to limit the scope, you can specify the scope using the second argument of register. With this setting, only pages under App will be controlled by the Service Worker. Next, create a file named sw.js and implement the basic events. This code defines a list of resources to be cached. Self. Add event listener, install, is triggered when the Service Worker is registered for the first time. At this stage, necessary files are pre-cached. In the Activate event, old caches are deleted to optimize storage. Only the cache of the new version is kept. All HTTP requests are intercepted. If a cached version exists, it is returned. Otherwise, it is fetched from the network. When offline, an alternative page, e.g., offline HTML, is returned. Let's actually check how the Service Worker works. Here, we check the registration of the service worker and the behavior of fetching resources by clicking the test button. The following are common caching strategies. Here is an example implementation for the cache-first strategy. This code implements a cache-first strategy, where the requested resource is returned from the cache if available. If not, it is fetched from the network. Here is an example implementation for the network-first strategy. This code implements a network-first strategy, where the requested resource is fetched from the network first, and if that fails, it is retrieved from the cache. Here is an example implementation where styles and JavaScript are cached while APIs are accessed in real time. This code always accesses API requests in real time and applies a cache-first strategy to static files such as stylesheets and JavaScript. The update flow of a service worker is as follows. 1. A new SW.js is detected. 2. The install event is triggered. 3. It waits until the previous service worker becomes idle. 4. The activate event is triggered. 5. It switches to the new service worker. 6. The controller change event is fired. Once a service worker is installed, the old one continues to be used until the next visit. To apply updates, it is common to use code that detects updates and reloads the page. The controller change event is fired when the controller of the service worker, that is, the service worker controlling the current page, changes. Pages that are already open continue to use the current service worker, and the newly installed service worker does not take effect on those pages immediately. Therefore, a technique is used where the controller change event is used to detect that a new controller has become active. Then the page is reloaded to immediately apply the update. When using service worker, keep the following points in mind. HTTPS required. Due to security restrictions, it does not work over http:// except on localhost. Hashed file names. The cache name can include the file name, URL, and version information. Communication with clients. Use post message to communicate between the service worker and the page's JavaScript. Service worker is an essential technology for offline support and performance improvements in web apps. By understanding the basic flow of installation, activation, and fetch handling, and implementing appropriate caching strategies, you can build higher quality web applications. The source code for this video can be downloaded from the official website. If you like, please visit the URL in the description to aid your learning. See you in the next video. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up.